Hey guys, what's happening? It is a little bit longer than usual since my last pickup video because I had a bunch of stuff come in at odd times. First up, an eBay pickup. Had to spend a little bit to get this, but I'm glad I got it because of what's in here, and that is Fatal Fury Battle Archives 1, Fatal Fury Battle Archives 2, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, and Art of Fighting Anthology. I already have this, but this was included in the lot. I'm super excited to get the the Fatal Fury Battle Archives in particular, so that's really cool. Up next, there was a lot of 5 games, and I'm not going to include them because I'm already getting rid of some of them. But the lot was a penny, and shipping was $4, so I paid $4.01 for 5 games, and I got part of it was Jak 3. This is my favorite of the Jak and Daxter series. I don't have the HD collection for the PS3, so to add this is pretty cool. Up next, another eBay pickup. This was also 99 cents, $4 for shipping, and that is Dead or Alive Ultimate. Now, I have shown you that I had it before, but this one is complete with the cardboard sleeve. That's very important to me. As an Xbox collector, I really wanted that, so my Dead or Alive collection that I have, I will be trading off. Another one, this is not technically an Xbox exclusive, but this version is an Xbox exclusive, and that is Burnout 2 Point of Impact, the developer's cut. It has, because the Xbox was more powerful, it has bigger and fancier crashes, 21 exclusive car skins, and both of those are complete in box and in mint condition. Went over to St. Vincent's, the thrift store, and I picked up all of these for $1 a piece. First up is, so I get the weird price tag. They've got 3 price tags on here, and they gave them all to me for $1 because one was $1 and one was $2. First up is Tony Hawk Pro Skater for the PS1. These are all for the PS1. Need for Speed High Stakes. As I dropped them, sorry. Up then WrestleMania the arcade game, disc only. Now this one was odd. They wanted to charge me for 2 separate games, but I talked them into charging me as one because it's a 2-disc set, and that is, this was $2 then, Driver 1, or Driver 2, but both discs. Then this one, I don't know anything about. It's from Excess Games, which means it was most likely on the budget line. And judging by the fact that it was released in 2003, which was really, really late in the life cycle of the PS1, this is Airboat Racing. Looks like a silly kart racer, but airboats. It's not a licensed game. These are just sort of generic, cute dinosaur-type characters. But the big one that I got over there, and I know it's not particularly valuable or rare or anything like that, but for $1, Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Really fun game. I actually really liked it. I know it got middle-of-the-road reviews, but that's okay with me. Then in their bin, their as-is bin, and these have already been tested and they do work. This is the Aqua PS2 controller, DualShock 2. Everything is like minty on this. The buttons are stiff, sticks are stiff. The only thing is I got to clean it up. It has some price tag residue on it. Then I also got the Clear Smoke PS2 controller. These were $2 a piece. So over there I dropped like $12 on all those games and these 2 controllers. DualShock 2, absolutely love the DualShock 2 compared to the DualShock 3. I guess my big complaint is as I hold these, there's definitely more heft to this one, and as somebody who's got sausage fingers, I certainly appreciate a little bit bulkier controller. I actually like the Duke from Microsoft. I didn't like the button layout of the original Xbox controller, but I absolutely loved the heft of it, and the Dreamcast controller as well. Love those. I know they're not beloved in terms of controllers, but yeah. Up next, went over to a thrift store, and I don't have it on me, but I got that EA Replay game. Sorry, not a thrift store. First National Pawn. They had all their PSP games marked down to $4 at the time. Picked up 3 games that I really wanted. One was EA Replay. It's got a bunch of, it's a compilation of old EA games from the Genesis, Super Nintendo era. There's Syndicate, which I guess, I don't think, did that come out on Genesis and Super Nintendo? I don't think it did. But anyway, that was there. And I got a really awesome one. I know my sister's going to be jealous of this, even though she doesn't have a PSP, and that's Super Monkey Ball Adventure. And Dissidia Final Fantasy for $4, so that was awesome. I also picked up 2 console games when I was there. This one's getting tougher to find, not as rare as Captain America, or The Incredible Hulk, but that is Thor: God of Thunder. This was $8. And then one that I was super duper excited to get, because this one is getting tougher to find for sure, and that is Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. Now, I know this came out on the PS2 and the Xbox One. However, I've always felt that the GameCube version of those 3 played the best. I will still get it for the Xbox, probably not the PS2. I'll still get it for the Xbox in an effort to complete my Xbox collection. Then I went over to this weird little thrift store called Grandma's Attic, and they very rarely, if ever, have games, but these games were all $2 a piece. And they're all minty, super minty. Cases might need to be cleaned up, but the discs are in great shape. And that is State of Emergency. I've traded off every other time I've gotten it. I've traded it off because it's been in terrible shape. This one is pretty amazing for $2. It's not particularly expensive, but I would say fairly uncommon to rare. And that is Space Channel 5 Special Edition. One of the few rhythm games I like. Parappa the Rapper, Jammer Lammy, and Space Channel 5 are some of my favorite, are probably my 3 favorite rhythm games. And then last but not least, I literally never see this out and about hunting, and so I was glad to grab it, especially since I love the first one. And this is Legaia 2 Dual Saga. This is, from the Fresh Games label by Eidos. Absolutely loved this game. I remember getting a demo disc of it, and I played the hell out of the demo, but for whatever reason never invested in the game. Then I got one other one at the pawn shop. Actually, I shouldn't say one other one. At the pawn shop next door to it, I went over and picked up Pinbot for the Nintendo. These were all what were these? These were $5 a piece. He gave me the lot for 15. So Pinbot, which again is uncommon but not particularly valuable. Then Forsaken 64. This one needs a lot of cleanup, as somebody decided to color over it at black magic marker. I might just clean it up as much as possible and then find like a crappy sports game and swap cases for it. Then last but not least, over from that pawn shop, I got Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. This was $5, and I know that the Naruto and Dragon Ball games seem to hold their value fairly well. This one, the average auction price puts it right at around $18, so to get this is amazing. I do have to get a manual for it, however. Then it was over to another Chance thrift store, and they didn't have a ton of stuff, but I was shocked to find this complete with the map and everything, and that is Red Dead Redemption. This was $4. And X-Men Origins Wolverine was $2, so not bad pickups for that. Over at Salvation Army, had a pretty decent pickup over there. This isn't a particularly rare game, but I would say it's uncommon. There's not a ton of sales for it online. It even had the free movie ticket in it still, and that is Curious George. Now you might be saying, Nate, what? Come on, Curious George. Here's the thing. See if the camera picks that up, and it will. I've mentioned it before that I absolutely love when cel-shaded graphics are done well. Not as a gimmick, but this actually fits the property that it's on, and it looks amazing. And I booted it up just to play a little bit of it to see what it's like, and obviously a kid's game, so it's not difficult, but I absolutely love the way it looks. And even the disc looks cool because they did it in the Curious George yellow. And he's sort of hanging from, like, the cover. You can see it. He's sort of hanging from what would be the cover of a Curious George book, and that's really cool. So I was excited to get that. This one, again, I don't see it out there a ton, not particularly valuable. That's Puzzle Quest. This one I can picture my girlfriend and I sinking a lot of time into. My girlfriend is a maniac at Dr. Mario, that is for sure. She has far more patience for it than I do. Then I think with this, I'll have to look it over, but I think with this, my Midnight Club collection is complete. This is Midnight Club Street Racing. This is obviously the first one. Then, last but not least, a fairly uncommon to rare game, and then actually a super fun, you know, in the vein of NBA Jam Tournament Edition. But this is NBA Street Home Court from the EA Sports Big label. I think Big has been retired at this point, but I was super excited to get that. This was $4, so that was pretty cool. Then had some Best Buy pickups. For a week, they had Titanfall marked down to $7.99 with my Gamers Club unlocked. I got it for $6.39, so I'm finally in on Titanfall. This is actually cool that I got it now because one of my best friends, Jason, is probably going to pick up an Xbox One here right around or before Halo 5 launches, so we can jump in and play this. And I know there's a new co-op mode, and all the maps are free now too, which is really cool. Then been on an NIS America kick, Nipponichi Software. As you know, I'm a huge Witch in the 100 Night fan. I absolutely love Awakened Fate Ultimatum, and I've only tinkered with it, haven't played it a lot. I always get them mixed up. That's the Guided Fate Paradox, and I gotta look at it here. Time and Eternity. I love those games. I just haven't. I love what I've seen of them and played of them. I haven't played a ton. So yeah. Glad to get this. Natural Doctrine was marked down. This is Natural Doctrine from NIS. This was marked down on clearance to $19.99. So my Gamers Club unlocked. This was $16. So these two games came to $22. One more pickup. I'm not going to show you the case because you should probably know what it is by now. But I got the Year 1 Survival Edition of State of Decay. And as I've said before, I am not really keen on having an all-digital collection, and that is because I actually want the physical disc. They are eventually going to take those machines offline, and I want to be able to play them without any hassle. So, there is a couple more things. Actually, one more game. I got Wii Sports Resort, which is standalone by itself is a fairly valuable game, as they didn't put out a ton of copies as the standalone. I got this for $6, so I was glad to pick that up for $6. But the big thing for me, now I know none of these are particularly valuable, but I got all of these in one lot. There is one of them that is valuable, but I got all of these in one lot. My cousin-in-law, Drew Peters, sorry, I won't identify him, I'll just call him Drew. Drew will be excited to see this, as will my sister. My sister and I sunk hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into these, and that is the NHL collection right there. NHL Hockey, NHL PA 93, NHL 94, 95, 96, 97. Now, I have some behind me, and those are, whichever ones are in better shape are going to stay. Not all of these have manuals. Some do, some don't. I need to get a new case for NHL Hockey itself. It has the manual, but it's broken down. Of course, you got to look. Look at that cover. Minnesota North Stars on the cover. And on the back, we've got, you can see it there, Hartford Whalers, Quebec Nordiques, the original Winnipeg Jets. So yeah, pretty exciting. And then I said, being that I got this lot for, how would I pay for it? $9.75 for the entire lot. Oh, and it also came with Hit the Ice, sort of an arcadey. If you haven't played it before, it's an arcadey one. This one's a little bit worse for the wear. I'll probably see if I can track down a label for it. The label's a little bit dinged up. However, the big NHL hockey find of the week goes to this. This is a rare game, and this is valuable, as they were all but pulling the plug on the Genesis at this point. But there it is, NHL 98 for the Genesis. I got this off of eBay. She took my offer. I see it sells right around $30, and she took my offer of $15, so I was excited to get this, and it came with free shipping. So, as it stands, there it is. All 7 of the NHL games. So I'm going to do a series of I'm going to do a video series, playlist series of the NHL series, the progression of it from NHL. This wasn't actually called. This actually wasn't given a year, but this we'll just call this NHL 2 for NHL 92 for argument's sake. But I'm going to do a series of this now. For me, I know it was. I believe it's NHL 94 is the one that stands as the high water mark. And I noticed this. I don't know what this means on the front because I don't remember ever seeing it as a kid. I did have this, but it says limited edition first round. I'm assuming that they I doubt this means anything, but I'm assuming that they had some sort of little stamp on the front. I'm gonna dig into it further to find out what it means. But anyway, this I believe is the one that everybody talks about. NHL 93 or NHL PA 93 and 94 are the ones that everybody talks about as being the where it took the big evolutionary shift. That said, this was probably the one I sunk the most time into, NHL 95, as it had a GM mode where you actually had to, you couldn't just in 94 you could pretty much make a trade where the players' overall rankings equaled whatever. Like you could trade, like somebody like Peter Doris, career fourth liner and AHL player, and you could get like 4 of those guys and ship them over to Philadelphia for Eric Lindros. Well, that ain't ever going to happen. But yeah, this so I have the entire NHL series now for the Genesis. I will be doing like I said, a progression. My sister and my cousin-in-law Drew, and I don't know if my cousin Mike actually watches my videos, but if he does, I will be basically making it for them, as all of us played hundreds of hours of these. But yeah, I'm super glad to get this. Gonna have another pickup video at some point this week. One other pickup that I got, 2 other pickups that I got that aren't necessarily games but are definitely gaming related for me. I upgraded my monitors now. I will have a game room tour as soon as I get all the wiring reworked and everything. But I have, in my dual monitor setup now, I have 2 of the Sony, I can't remember the actual model number. It's like the CEH or CECH1Z or something like that. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But basically what it boils down to is I have 2 of the PlayStation 3 3D monitors. I could care less about the 3D. The picture on these is absolutely stunning. The refresh rate is 240 hertz, so everything is crisp and clear. And I'm not really a picker, but our here in town is our spring cleanup week, meaning the city of Grand Forks will pick up any garbage that you put out on your berm, as long as it's out there by your regularly scheduled garbage day. Well, when I was out doing my routes this morning, somebody had put out a 20-inch Sony Wega. I can't remember the model number of that, but if you remember the Wega TVs, they were absolutely stunning for standard definition TVs. That will be brought in, and I will set that up as my classic gaming area so I can hook up my Atari and Nintendo and Sega Genesis in particular. I will hook up those 3 in particular because I have the light guns for those. Well, not the Atari, but the Genesis and that would be the Menacer, and the Nintendo I have the light gun for. And as you know, the light guns don't work on LCD. So, pretty massive haul. The most, like I said, the most important to me is the NHL series. I know it's not the most valuable, but yeah, glad to get those. I should have another pickup video. The Grand Forks All City Rummage Sale is coming up, or the Anything Goes sale is coming up in June. I had massive scores there last year. This was before I did my pickup video, but I got Smash Brothers Melee, Tetris for the Nintendo in box, and got some other stuff too. Pro Wrestling for the Nintendo, but I spent like $25 total, and I got a massive pile of stuff. In fact, I told one guy I paid $10 for Smash Brothers Melee for the GameCube, and he said he's also a big gamer sort of and collector as well, and he said, I sort of hate you right now. And then he chuckled it off, but I knew what he meant. But I got a massive steal on that. So thanks for watching, guys. I picked up a few more subscribers. There's a gentleman who has been watching my videos that goes by the name of Loch Ness Monster, which I think is pretty amazing. I like that. Please check out his videos. He's been super kind to me on YouTube here and on Twitter. So check out his videos. He does a lot of pickup videos as well. And I might have another pickup video this week. Maybe I'll push it into next week. Just depends on what I get. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. One last thing for you guys. There was a GameCube lot that I was glad to have picked up. And it had deadly creatures in it. Very bizarre game. Billy Bob Thornton and Dennis Hopper are the voices, and you play as a scorpion and a tarantula, and it's definitely not a valuable or expensive game, but it's certainly uncommon to find it out there, and I was glad to get it. So yeah, got that, and thanks for watching.